Hey, how y'all doing? My name is Faye Ayadeli, and this comment or this YouTube video goes out to Spike Lee. Spike, I just wanted to give you big ups and all the props in the world for all the big and great things that your movie production company, 40 Acres and a Mule, has been doing. I mean, I've seen pretty much probably all your movies, if I'm not mistaken. 25th Hour, Bamboozled, um, Inside Man, you name it. I pretty much, like I said, seen it all. But the comment that I wanted to make out to you was just pretty much a reference to all the things that's going on right now, both in the movie industry and out there in society today. You know, as you know, being a educationally conscious person that you are, I'm sure you've seen the new movie Waiting for Superman. The movie slash documentary gives an in-depth look at the achievement gap and statistics about the inner city youths versus the middle class suburban youths, and even as far back as our counterparts overseas, like Asia and other countries and other continents as well. Pretty much gives an in-depth look at the achievement gaps, and obviously the inner city 9 times out of 10 always comes out at the bottom of the barrel. But the movie was very it was a very uh, um, conscious movie. It talked about a lot of different aspects of the educational system in America. It talked about how part of the problem of the educational system that we have in America is even the things that actually, the elements that actually are supposed to help it, are actually probably even hurting it the more, like the teachers union, the board of education, the the schools, the teachers themselves. That all these things, you have a lot of bad elements within these within the school system that actually brings down or makes a decline in the educational system. But having said that, the movie overall was good. It was a great movie. I embraced it. I loved it. I believe that Jeffrey Canada did a great job in the appearance that he made in the movie, and also David Guggenheim, the actual director of the movie. Both of them did a very excellent job in creating a educational awareness about the certain things that was happening out in society in reference to the educational system of our kids. But I do believe that the movie didn't shed enough light on the actual problem itself, which is the interest level of the kids. Now, like I said earlier, the movie was a very great movie. The most of the kids that played in the movie were somewhere between probably the age of 7 and 12, and it had the kids themselves, even at that young age, it showed that they had a lot of interest in the educational future, and the the parents as well, whether it's the mother and father or the single parent, showed a lot of concern with the child's education as well. So it's like here you have both the parents and the child as well, concerned about the educational system and concerned about the future of the educational system, and that makes more or less of a perfect pair, because in every society that's what they look for. They look for pretty much both the parent involvement and the child's involvement too. You know, like the old saying goes, it takes a village to raise a child, and I believe the aspect of this movie was partially accurate. I also believe that the other side of the picture wasn't shown, the bigger picture, which I believe is the inner city youths that don't care about school, that are not motivated by anything in reference to the school system. That the parents are strung out on drugs, that the teachers don't really care about what goes on within the school system. Practically no involvement from anyone from the school system, no one from the home of the child, and the child itself showing no interest. But I believe that's the other side of the story that wasn't told in the movie Waiting for Superman. Like I said, it showed a lot of involvement and a lot of interest by the children and the parents, but the other side of the inner city is that a lot of parents and a lot of the faculty members don't really care what happens, because that's just the mentality that they have. You know, most of these inner city youth, being a product of the inner city, I grew up in Washington D.C., and I saw for myself at first hand or at glance a lot of things that were going on within the school system that really I believe affected me or traumatized me, I should say, during my era of going to school in D.C. back then. But I believe this is a very big problem that was not really seriously addressed in the movie. Is the very interest level of the kids. And if you go around and you ask majority of the inner city kids, or you ask the even the middle class suburbia kids or whatever, they'll tell you that most of them really don't have that much interest in school, especially the inner city, because obviously they have more problems. They have a lot of environmental factors, domestic issues, and personal issues or so that they're conflicted with on a day to day basis, and their biggest outlet, I believe, is hip hop. Now, I know a lot of parents and a lot of teachers and a lot of other people out there might think it's a crazy idea, but I believe that this same energy, this same focus that these children nowadays have on this hip hop culture, this hip hop revolution, that if we somehow redirected their attention and we put that interest or that focus on educating them the same way that they have that interest and focus on into the hip hop, if we could somehow incorporate both of them or so, I believe that we will have the achievement gap will be closed indefinitely. And I believe that because all this, like I said, this culture revolution that we're going through with these kids nowadays with hip hop and with rap and when I say hip hop culture, I just don't mean musicians or artists or anything like that. I mean it's with football, it's with basketball, it's with clothes, it's with shoes, it's with their persona, it's with their character, their demeanor, each and every aspect of the child's upbringing that you can even fathom or contemplate is influenced or emulated in through the hip hop world. And I believe, like I said, if all this energy was redirected into the educational system or so, it would make for a great storyline. Having said that, 4 years ago I wrote a script called Inner City High, and this movie pretty much goes into depth as far as the day-to-day struggle of the inner city kids. Incorporates the hip hop culture trend slash genre with all the different things that's happening right now in the inner city, with all the things that's happening in the educational system. But the movie's a great movie. It's full of the movie's full of energy. It's full of a lot of expression from the youth. It's full of a lot of truth, and that's one thing I believe right now that Hollywood is lacking. Is stories or movies actually creating some kind of awareness, or rather showing some kind of how would I put it, originality. Because there's a lot of movies now that are made by Hollywood, which is pretty much renditions of pretty much the same old thing over and over again. And I believe that we need to stop that trend, because if we don't have any innovation, if we don't have any creativity, then what are we leaving for the youth? What are we leaving for our generations? And I believe that my script, my script that hopefully will become a movie, tells all that. It gives in-depth details about all the things that's going on right now in society with the children. It creates a social and economic and educational awareness of pretty much everything around you, and all of it directly or indirectly relates back to the children. You know, and I believe that if you were to take a look at the script, I believe you'll feel the same way. Now I know there's a lot of movies out there, there's a lot of scripts out there, and that you've seen over the years, and that you produced over the years. But I believe this is something that's genuine. I believe that this is something that would definitely raise not just an awareness, but I believe it's something that'll start revolutionary movement as far as our educational system and as far as the youth are concerned. I believe Oprah said it best when she said that everyone in this world wants to be validated for something, whether it's good or bad. And at the end of the day, I guess my question to a lot of other people is, do you want to be validated for the accolades and the achievements that you've accomplished over the years, or do you want to be validated for what you gave back? Because it's not all about what you're getting; it's all about what you give back after you received everything and anything. What are you giving back? And I believe what I can give back, or my ability, is giving back to the children, giving back to the youth. Because I was once obviously a youth. I'm 32-year-old man now, but like I said, all of us at one point or another we were children. So it's more or less of a situation whereby the all the things that are going on right now with the youth, with all the different things that's happening in society, it's just crazy. I mean, these kids are just not the same. I mean, back when I was growing up or whatever, there was nothing like Columbine. Kids didn't bring guns into school and shoot up the school. I'm sure back when you were growing up as well, which is a little bit further back than mine or whatever. That mentality that our parents raised us with back then gave us an indication that we needed to progress by going to school, getting a good education, and staying away from trouble, and then we become someone in life. And it made us focus. It made us really, try as much as possible to be goal orientated. But now these kids, they don't care. There's nothing you're gonna tell them that's gonna make any sense to them. The only thing that makes sense to them is hip hop, is this cultural hip hop revolution that they're going through. So I believe we can redirect that energy and somehow put that hip hop into the curriculum of their education. I believe that there will be a great change. I believe that each and every kid will be happy to come to school each and every day, knowing that the teaching, the teachers, and the staffing will somehow create some kind of energy, some kind of innovative idea of teaching them, as opposed to the routine or the mundane of, hey, what's 1 + 1 or what's this, and if you don't know it, that means you're stupid and you're gonna be in the back of the class. No, you know. But I believe that my movie will create. I believe Waiting for Superman created that awareness, that cultural, that educational awareness of what was going on out there in society. But I believe my movie, Inner City High, will create a more of a revolution. And like I said, I'm all about giving back, because these kids, if they fail as our children in the educational system or in any endeavor that they undertake in life, I believe we fail as parents. So I believe that each and every individual, including myself, including you, and including anybody else, who calls himself a father or a parent or a mother or something of substance, that that you have children. I believe all of us need to give some kind of contribution back. We need to pay it back one way or another, and this is my way of paying it back. Like I said earlier, Spike, I believe that Hollywood right now is just watered down, and this is no offense to any particular individual, any particular company, Hollywood or so. But over the years, Hollywood has made a lot of great movies, and over the years, they've made a lot of movies that flopped. And I believe right now what Hollywood needs is innovation. They need someone to come out with something that will definitely create some kind of social awareness, or will start something, or will be of substance. Because most of the things they're making right now, I'll be frank with you, Spike, it's just garbage, it's trash. It's renditions of the same old things that they've been doing for the past 80, 90 years, since the 1930s, when Hollywood first came into existence. So I believe if you look at this script, if you read it, you would embrace it and you'll love it just like I do. Because like I said, to me, I feel it's a masterpiece, and I believe anybody else who has a open mind and reads it, someone like you, of course, based on all the wonderful movies and production that you've done over the years, that you will embrace it and you will feel the same way that I feel about it. Like I said, all of us, one day, we have to be validated for something. So my question to everybody else out there and to you is, what's your validity at the end of the day? Is it all the accolades and all the awards, all the Grammys and production awards that you can win, or is it actually giving back to the youth, giving back to where you started from, giving back to what you were before you became a man, giving back to what you were before you became a star? So get at me, Spike. Let me know what's on your mind. FEYI02 @AOL.com.